Feel that whack?
Good morning.
It is.
I'm very nervous. This is my first workshop.
Yeah? All is well. How, you care about your teeth? No.
A little bit.
Then we won't knock them out.
So I've been listening to you via YouTube for about 4 months, watching past lectures. I have recently stepped away from my marriage, or am in the process of writing a new story with my future ex-husband. And I'm very nervous. I have to be alone and fearful for my children.
Well, we appreciated your words about writing a new story as you continue to write the old one.
Sweating.
So the thing that you're going to want to focus on is not thinking about that so much. People often say, well, Abraham, I've decided that I'm going to leave this relationship. And they want us to agree that it's a good idea. And we say, well, we understand that there are things that are uncomfortable, and that's the reason that you're leaving. But you have to remember, you're going to be taking yourself with you. And who you are inside that relationship is who you still are as you walk away from it. So everything's going to follow you wherever you are, as long as the reason that you're leaving is the most active part within you. And that's the thing that's so tricky about leaving a relationship. They say, well, don't you think I should leave? And we say, yeah, but now you got to get out of town too. And now you got to get off this planet, and now we don't know where to send you, because you will take yourself with you. And so our encouragement is that you try to be who you really want to be before you leave. Because if you can be who you really want to be before you leave, then everywhere you go, everything that you want will be there with you. So the reason that you're feeling afraid, the reason that you feel fearful or lonely for yourself and for your children, is because you're thinking thoughts in justification for the action that you've decided that the source within you is not in alignment with. And we're not talking about the behavior. We're not talking about whether you stay or whether you go. We're talking about the thoughts that you are thinking are not resonance with the thoughts that the source within you thinks about the same subject. And that's what that empty feeling is. That's what that fearful feeling is, you see. So wouldn't it be a novel thing if, instead of leaving a relationship, and we're not saying stay, we're not saying go, we just want you to contemplate this for a little bit, all of you, that if instead of leaving a relationship, if instead you said, I think I'm just going to stay here and try to feel how I want to feel and what I'm reaching for. What is it that I'm reaching for? What do I think I'm going to find outside of this relationship that I can't find inside of it?
And I'm not sure what that is.
Well, we would think about it a little bit, because whatever it is active within you. That's why you've come to the decision that you have. And you're going to take that vibration with you everywhere you go. So that even though the faces will change and the places may change and the situation may change, a lot will change. How you feel is not going to change that much, you see. Where if you can discover what you're looking for before you leave, you might not even have to leave to find it. In fact, you might not even have to leave to find it. In fact, you might not even have to leave to find it. What you're looking for might be right there where you are. It's just on a different vibrational frequency than is active within you right now. Nothing is more conditional living than relationships. Oh boy. And the conditions that are yanking your chains all day are the conditions that somebody else is doing. And so, to be inside of a relationship and to discover unconditional living, which means I'm responding to the climate that I'm establishing, not responding to what's going on over here. In other words, to be able to say to someone, the way I used to feel about you was totally dependent upon the way you behaved, and now the way I feel about you is totally dependent upon the way I think about you. And I've discovered that the way I think about you doesn't have to have anything to do with you. which makes me a happy girl.
Okay, can I ask, there's one component of our relationship that is missing for me, and that is an intimate connection with him.
Well, that doesn't surprise us because that's not the button you got out there. You got a button out there that says, this is so bad, I'm getting ready to take off. That's the active vibration. That's far from the vibration that is at the basis of intimacy. So that you see what we're getting at?
A little bit.
You have to find that feeling. You have to find that. So what is in emotional terms? And all of you feel it and think it. It'll be helpful to the mix here. In emotional terms, how could you describe intimacy? Caring?
Letting go. When you're with someone, what I would like is for him to let go and fall in love with me instead of just making sure that the T's are crossed and the I's are dotted and the bills are paid and there's gas in the car and we can afford
all of that is good. And you started to answer the question that we asked, and then you answered the question that you wanted to answer. In other words, you began telling us what's missing.
Okay.
And so what's happened, you see, there isn't anything wrong with your observation. You walk into a relationship and you begin observing it one way, and you've let the way it is train you into your vibration. So because the T's are crossed and the I's are dotted and the bills are paid and da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da, because you're observing that and 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 observing that, that's the vibration that you've got going on. And so you've let the condition train your climate, and now your climate brings you more of the condition that you do not want. So you say, I think I'm going to take me and my climate somewhere else. And we say, yeah, and you're going to get the same thing everywhere you go. Because isn't it nice to be the creator of your own experience? Yes. The elicitor of it, you see? The unconditional lover of it? It is our promise to you that as you hear us here today, and this is a sort of new communication that we're offering. It's just been recently that we've begun telling you all that the way that what moves from your vortex, which is where everything that you want is, into the realization, into the reality that you want to live, what makes it possible for it to move from that unrealized state into that realized state is your practicing of your point of attraction. And so we've been reaching for words. For a while we called it your grid, because it's an established state of being that we'll fill in with details. But grid sounds too rigid. It's a pliable fluid. It's a climate. It's an environment. It's something that you create. And if you can hear us when we say to you, you have the ability to create this apart from what you're witnessing. Oh, if you can get that, in other words, that means if you don't have enough money and you can create an atmosphere where you feel prosperous apart from the reality that you're currently living, now your vibration is going to shift and the money will begin flowing in. Now your vibration is going to shift and the intimacy flows in. The shift happens, you see, but it's got to start with you. And so many of you, we get it. You say, hey, I didn't feel like that till he acted like that. He acted like that, and that's why I feel like this, so he needs to act different so I can feel different. And we say, conditional love will get you nowhere. You have to create the vibrational condition that allows you to receive from this person who we promise you has the ability to give you exactly what you want when the shift takes place within you.
Okay, I do believe that I am a deliberate creator. I have created many things in my life that I love and continue to see that. And I feel very in alignment with certain pieces of my life.
Because there are a lot of things that you can observe, and when you observe them, it causes you to offer a vibration that brings you more of them.
Yes.
In other words, there are a lot of people that believe that they are deliberately creating, and a lot of you are, because Esther says, I was born into a happy home, and I focused there. No bad stuff ever happened to any of us. We just sort of lived happily ever after. My parents never said a cross word to one another. In other words, it was easy for Esther to be a pliable vortex through which we can communicate, because her vibration was in a good place because she was observing a good life, and her vibration stayed in a good place because she was observing a good life. You see what we're getting at? But deliberate creation is a bit beyond that. Deliberate creation is unconditional loving, which means it's creating of a vibration on purpose.
But what about the chemistry? So I'm married to someone, I've been with him for almost
Now you're
12
going
years.
to tell a story.
Okay.
You're going to tell a story that's not about what you want. And
Okay,
you see,
I want to have
but-
chemistry
but he-
with this man, and I don't feel like it's there.
Well, then at least say I want to have chemistry, because what happens is someone will be in a relationship, it won't be the way they want it, and they'll say, I'm leaving because of this. And then for the rest of their life, they say, I left that because of that. And because you're still telling the story of having left that because of that, then that's what's active in your vibration. And then after a while you say, I have had 10 husbands and not one damn one of them did I have any chemistry with. Or you could live a very conditional life and go out and just look for chemistry, and end up with someone who cannot cross any T's or any I's, and you like that too.
I do. So I'd like
I've got chemistry, but oh, he's got no money. Stand right where you are and create a climate that is conducive to what you want, and feel the mastery of your ability to create. And we know you're stubborn, you all are to a certain extent. You want to say, this is what's going on, and we say, we know, and you've got to change. Why does it always have to be me that makes the vibrational adjustment? Why can't some condition adjust so I can just observe it and feel better? And we say, because that is limited creating. And as sure as anything, you'll fall in the trap with the masses that say, we've got to control these conditions, otherwise we can't be happy. And that's just not true. This is a really good time for a segment of refreshment.